Today I'm releasing every single La Liga player from their contract, from Benzema to Bale, who ends up in Denmark. I've used the pre-game editor to go to every single club in La Liga and release all of their players. The database is accurate to the end of the January transfer window, which is why players like Bale are still at Real Madrid and are able to move to Denmark. And so when we load up the game, you can see that every single La Liga player is a free agent and ready to be signed on a free by any club in the world. So I've gone 10 years into the future, but first things first, we're going to go 1 year into the future to find out where these players end up. Also, if you could do me a favour and drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing. So 1 year in the future, I've got a short list here of every single La Liga player sorted by current ability, and according to Football Manager, the best player is Stegen and Oblak, and he went off to Manchester United. Not a bad season with a 7.57 average rating across 38 games played for United. I think they'd take that. But Newcastle managed to snap up Marc-Andre ter Stegen. He's supposedly the second best player in La Liga according to the in-game current ability. He went off to Newcastle, where I don't think he would have had quite as good of a season. He didn't. Benzema ended up at Liverpool and he went on to score a whopping 13 goals. When I said whopping, I expected it more like 30. I feel disappointed by that. But even in Football Manager, Manchester United could not land Frankie de Jong. He went off to Man City, João Felix to Arsenal, Courtois to Leeds. Really? I imagine he's following in his namesake Kiko off to Leeds United, but he didn't even play a full season for them, so I don't know what's gone on there. But with Vinicius Jr. going off to Tottenham, the top 7 rated players from La Liga have all moved over to the Premier League. Bayern Munich managed to pick up Toni Kroos and Pedri, but then Leicester did very well for themselves, picking up Antoine Griezmann and David Alaba. If we sort it by potentiality though, looking for players for the future, this is where things go a little bit different. Eduardo Camavinga's gone to Borussia Mönchengladbach, where Ansu Fati has gone to Inter Milan. Now, despite Suarez and Bale being way off their current ability, their potential ability is still listed as very, very high. So Suarez went off to Lazio, but Gareth Bale went off to Brøndby. And I'm still not over this. This seems wild to me. I feel like Gareth Bale gets done dirty in real life and in Football Manager. He's playing in the MLS and it's a decent league, but I still think he could do a job in the Premier League, for example. But I'm a little bit more shocked actually by Eden Hazard. He's not been picked up by anyone. Has he gone the whole season as a free agent? He has. No one's picked him up since he left Real Madrid. I also think it's really interesting that there are no La Liga clubs on this list at all. Like Isco's gone to AEK. Now, I thought players might leave Real Madrid to then join Barcelona and leave Barcelona to join Real Madrid, but no one wants to go to La Liga apparently. So there's a lot of transfers to go through. But before we do that, did he keep up to date with all of the transfers on deadline day? I did, and I did it with the One Football app, the best football app out there to keep up to date with all the latest football news, scores and updates from around the world. You can follow your favourite teams and players, and now you can also watch live games on the app as well, which is really cool. So if you fancy watching some of the games available to you in your area, then download the app for absolutely free from the top line of the description. Doing so really helps me and the channel out. And I'm just looking through La Liga transfers right now. Most of them aren't free transfers. If we sort it by the price again, a lot of them are players being bought in. So Madrid ended up buying Fred, Cedric Suarez and Soyuncu for a fair bit of money, to be fair. And it worked quite well for them because Real Madrid went on to win the title this past season, beating Real Sociedad to the title, Barca 3rd and Villarreal in 4th. Elche, Mallorca and Rayo Vallecano all relegated. So season 1 has been really interesting, but I did simulate 10 years into the future. So let's jump 10 years in the future to see where the careers of Gavi, Pedri and Camavinga have ended up. So 10 years in the future, and some of these La Liga youngsters are now the best players in the world. Camavinga, for example, has got a current ability of 196 out of 200, making him virtually one of the best players of all time. Now he's currently at Liverpool, where he joined from Borussia Mönchengladbach on a free at the end of his contract. Now one thing you will notice here is that there's no Real Madrid here. Why is that? Well, this database goes from the start of the 21-22 season when he moved from Rennes to Real Madrid. But before he could even play a game for Madrid, we released him and he moved to Borussia Mönchengladbach. So the game just counts that as him not playing or ever signing for Real Madrid, which is why they're not there. Ansu Fati has ended up at Bayern Munich. I feel like he must have gone to a few different clubs. No, just Inter Milan on a free and then Bayern Munich for £136 million, but incredible goal scoring records for him every single season. He's joined by Vinicius Jr. They bought him for £144 million from Tottenham and he gets some really great average ratings despite maybe not quite as many goal contributions as Fati. Hold my word, Bayern Munich also have Pedri. Like, they just have a stacked team. And Pedri left Barcelona to go on a free to Bayern Munich. He's been there the entire experiment. But they've got a stacked team, haven't they? Oh, they've got Trubin in goal, Araujo and Upamecano in defence. They've got Destiny as their left back. Obviously, Pedri and Ansu Fati and Vinicius Jr. Karim Adeyemi. I mean, Gio Reyna can't make their bench. That just shows how good this team is. But looks like Frankie de Jong has stayed at Man City his entire career. I think João Felix has stayed at Arsenal his whole career. Yeah, he stayed at Arsenal the entire time, having a pretty decent run of things for Arsenal. He's joined by Gavi, who is also at Arsenal, but Tottenham, their rivals, have picked up Unai Simon in goal. I think he must have been there for quite a while. Went to Hertha Berlin, and then Tottenham bought him 52 million. Inter Milan have done quite well. They've got Jules Koundé, they've got Alexander Isak, they've also got Yeremy Pino as well, so this Inter Milan team is pretty stacked. But again, it's really interesting. We barely see La Liga teams featured for these players. The only player playing in La Liga right now is Valverde, who obviously left Real Madrid to go to Man United for a while and has just signed back to Atletico Madrid. And to be fair, removing all the players from La Liga has made it a little bit more competitive. We've seen Real Madrid, Barcelona, Sevilla and Atletico Madrid all winning the title across the past 10 seasons. But the league has suffered in terms of continental reputation because they have dropped down to 4th. They're usually second and stay second for a long time. Usually competitive reputation is mostly dictated by how well clubs do in continental competitions, which does suggest that none of these La Liga teams have actually won a Champions League, Europa League or Conference League. And here are the winners of the Europa Conference League. Celta Vigo actually did win it one season, which is good for the Spanish side. Madrid came runners-up one season, as did Valencia, but not a great start for the Spanish teams. But shout out to Brest, by the way, for getting to 2 finals, but losing them. Also, big up Sassuolo, finally winning a European competition. If you watch my stream save with Venezia, you'll know that Sassuolo get to plenty of European finals, but never win them. If you want to watch the streams, there is a link down to my Twitch in the description. In terms of the Europa League, well, there's no Spanish winners in the past 10 seasons. Nice runners-up twice. In fact, no Spanish teams finalists at all. That's really interesting. So a poor time for the Spanish clubs here, and given that the league has fallen down to 4th in rankings, I don't think we're going to see any Champions League winners here from Spain. And that is correct, but Man City had a great time. As of PSG, Bayern Munich, despite their stacked team, have not gone on to win more than one Champions League, but they have made a couple of finals and lost them. So I guess it's not all plain sailing for Bayern Munich. I love doing experiments like this because it comes up with some really interesting and unique results. And if you want to see more things like this, then I did the exact same experiment with the Premier League. So you can check that one out right here.